It's a very good afternoon, Derby fans. Welcome back to the Arc here in Dalesford for rounds 5 and 6 of the statewide Stampede. My name's JR, and it's great to be back behind the mic again. Day 2 action. We're not too far off from a start here between Ballarat Roller Derby League, the Rat Pack taking on vrdl KCR, the Vic Kings, in what promises to be one heck of a game. The skaters just slowly now coming away from their benches, making their way out on track. We will get through the team rosters shortly. It's the 222s, though, that are going to take to the jammer line. First up, jamming for Ballarat. It is 2-2 Corey taking on 2-2 Screw Lucy. These two teams only know one way to play roller derby, and that is nice and hard. So expect some big hits. And all the derby fun, smashy stuff. That rolling whistle means we're not too far away. So that whistle means let's go. So off we are. And wasting no time, out front, lead jammer. It is Corey then for Ballarat. As the pack now coming through turns 1 and 2. And Screw Lucy got a little bit of work to do trying to find a way through this Ballarat defence. 4 points then for Corey on that previous pass. Screw Lucy now finding a way through off of turn number 4, gets through the pack. Nice start then for Corey and Ballarat, the 8 points. vrdl KCR yet to open their account. So jamming for Ballarat, 4-7. Alice up against 2-4 for the Vic Kings. Of course, that is spin and tonic. Unfortunately for Alice, it is a penalty. So power jam then for the Vic Kings. Spin and tonic getting through the pack nicely to lead jammer. Ballarat blockers just waiting for spin and tonic to come off of turn 2, coming down the back straight away. Nice bit of defensive work there. 4-2 for Ballarat. Rebecca, the recycle's well and truly back into turn number 2 there for spin and tonic. And whilst all that was going on, Alice has been released out of the penalty box, back out on track. Unfortunately then for Ballarat, a couple of skaters making their way to the penalty box. And the pack now coming back into turns. Pretty much at the halfway point between turn 3 and 4. And the drawback then from 1-4 code. Creating a cut track on the Ballarat jammer, of course, Alice. Spin and tonic, the drawback or the recycle, taking them nice and deep back into turn 3. This one's all done and dusted. So neither team adding to the score in that previous jam. So we get this one underway, 7-8, then jamming for vrdl rather, and Kingston. Keiju, waste no time, lead jammer, Vic Kings. It is a power jam start for the Vic Kings, so they're going to want to do as much as they can whilst the opposition jam is in the penalty box. But that said, the opposition jammer, being Alice, has been released out of the penalty box, back out on track. Keiju seen enough and calls it off. And again, another jam with either team adding to the scoreboard. The blocker advantage is going to go the way of the Vic Kings as we enter into our first official timeout. Nicely done on that previous pass. No, but Screw Loose has seen enough and called it off. Not before adding to the Vic Kings total there. Nice jam, 14 points. Vic Kings 22, brdl on 8. Two jammers on track, 2-2 Corey, 2-4 Spin and Tonic. And out front, trying to just find a gap. is Corey for the Rat Pack, but the Vic Kings defense giving Corey plenty to think about, but getting on through. Spin and Tonic has picked up lead jammer for the Vic Kings as the pack now comes down the back straight. Plenty of skaters making their way into the penalty box. Vic Kings have got 2 in the penalty box. Ballarat just the 1. So the blocker advantage is going to go the way of Ballarat. So we've got 7-8 then jamming for the Vic Kings. Kaiju, 5-5 jamming for Ballarat, and picking up lead jammer, it is Snipples. Looks like a penalty has been assessed, and indeed it has been assessed to Kaiju, the jammer there for the Vic Kings. So this is going to be a power jam for Ballarat. And it's going to be a pretty handy one too. Good opportunity for Ballarat to pick up some points. And see if they can't close that gap. And getting 4 points is a very good start. 4 points then for Snipples and Ballarat on that previous pass. As the pack now stuck in turn number 2. And one jammer gets released. The other jammer gets sent to the penalty box. Unfortunately, a cut track there for Snipples. Kaiju, it is then on track. Power jam for the Vic Kings. As the Ballarat defense then in the form of 266 takes Beck, 4-2, Rebecca. Killer Curls is in there as well. 3 very, very strong blockers. And Kaiju is finding that out in no uncertain terms. Some fantastic positional blocking there from Rebecca. That's 4-2. Nice hit then from Rebecca, taking Kaiju to the inside part of turn number 3. And the recycle is almost back down to turn number 2. As this one is done and dusted. A very handy 8 points then for Ballarat, moving them along to 16. VRDL, KCR, the Vic Kings on at 22. (4-7) Alice jamming for Ballarat. 2-2 Screw Lucy jamming for the Vic Kings. And unfortunately for Alice, another penalty called. So this is a good opportunity for Screw Lucy and the Vic Kings to hopefully get lead jammer. Nicely done toe stop work there. Screw Lucy to the outside part of turn 2. Lead jammer, the Vic Kings. Screw Lucy met solidly there by the Ballarat defence. And again, the defence work on the Vic Kings jammer to Screw Lucy evident. From 4-2, of course, that's Rebecca from BRDL. So just the 4 points in from Screw Lucy and the Vic Kings, moving them along to 30. And BRDL on 16. So a full complement of blockers on track, which is what we like to see. 3-3. It is then jamming for Ballarat. That is Mari. 2-4 Spin and Tonic, the jammer, the lead jammer for the Vic Kings. The initial pass then done for Spin and Tonic. That's all done and dusted. It's all about the point scoring pass now. And the Ballarat defence are going to go to work on Spin and Tonic. Spin and Tonic calls this one off before Murray could get back around for Ballarat. The initial pass was all done. So on the jammer start line, we're going to have 7-8 Keiju, the jammer for the Vic Kings, and 2-2 Corey jamming for Ballarat. We're under a team timeout. We're going to take a short break and have a listen to a little bit of music. Twisted Sister, no less. Crank this up. So that team timeout is all done and dusted. So we get this one back underway. Nicely done by Corey to the outside part of turns 1 and 2. Lead jammer Ballarat. Kaiju then with, looks like a toe stop has come off the skates there. Game still goes on. Vic Kings blockers now going to try and hold up Corey as long as possible. Defense work at the back of the pack there by Rebecca for Ballarat. Bit of a split pack coming through turns 3 and 4. The recycle then for Baby H, taking Keiju deep back down the back straight away. Katie Chaos trying to do some defensive work there on Corey. Corey having none of it. Dreamcatcher then also having a crack at Corey. Corey finding a way through beautifully. 4 more points then for Ballarat. And Corey's seen enough and called this one off. Not before adding 12 points. Nice jam there for Ballarat. They move along to 28 VRDL, KCR, the Vic Kings on 34. And looks like we're going to have our first official review. I've got a roaming mic. I could be like Brian Taylor from the footy and do roaming Brian. So basically the nature of this official review, Kingston are looking for a lack of a charging call against the Ballarat Jammer 2-2 in that previous jam. So whilst the referees are having a bit of a chat about that, hopefully we'll get an outcome sooner rather than later.
I'm just going, surely I'm off one hour. What?
It doesn't like being... I think we'll kill that. I can come back to the desk and just talk. It's much easier. So... That's all right. So the outcome of that official review is that there's going to be a high block call assessed against the yellow jammer for Ballarat 2-2. They will serve a penalty and Kingston retain their official review. So, back with the action. 2-2, Screw Lucy jamming for the Vic Kings. Of course, it is a power jam start then for them. Hopefully, an opportunity to try and get some points there. 2-6. That's Beck taking a bit of a tumble there, coming into turn number 3. The O is going to come though. Nicely done to the inside part of, unfortunately though for Corey, a cut track. So the Ballarat defence then slowly coming together at the front of the pack. That's not bothering Screw Lucy too much. 4 more points on that previous pass. And again, another 4 points nicely done by Screw Lucy. Pack now just stationary on the front straightaway. As 2-2, Corey has been released out of the penalty box, back out on track. Waste no time trying to get through. It's just the 1 blocker, 1-4 code. And then 1-2 Dream Crusher, but Corey finding a way nicely to the centre part of that track. Gets on through, calls it by Screw Lucy. Not before adding 16 points. And giving the Vic Kings a nice little buffer. They currently sit on 50 with brdl on 28. Two, 4, spin and tonic, 5-5, snipples the 2 jammers out on track. And straight away both jammers are going to find a hole world of hurt in the form of the opposing blockers who are going to make life very, very difficult. So at the front of the pack, Spin and Tonic, just the one blocker to negotiate. A little bit of confusion there, but Spin and Tonic back up on the skates. Lead jammer, the Vic Kings. As the pack now comes down off of turn 2 in the back straightaway. Now the pack coming into turn number 3. And Ballarat defense trying to get in amongst the Kingston blockers. Bit of a, I was going to say there, a bit of a spill there from Spin and Tonic, but all's well that ends well. Another 4 more points then for the Vic Kings. Ballarat not adding to their score. They remain on 28. The blocker advantage is going to go the way of Ballarat. It's going to be a power jam start though again for the Vic Kings rather, and number 2 to Screw Lucy. As the pack now comes around into turn number 2. And Screw Lucy met solidly again by the Ballarat defense. And gets on through, picking up lead jammer. Number 5-5, Snipples there, trying to find some room on the outside part of turn 2. It's not going to work. And the Kingston blockers giving Snipples plenty to think about. Snipples trying to find, again, room on the outside. It's not on offer. Meanwhile, at the back of the pack, Screw Lucy with plenty to think about. The Ballarat defense giving Screw Lucy plenty to think about as well. Unfortunately for Screw Lucy, it's also a penalty as well. Both jammers then released out of the penalty box, back out on track. 469 Exie taking Snipples to the outside part of turn number 3. Number 1-4 Code just dropping back at the back of the pack. They're seeing if a cut track can't be drawn on Snipples. Not going to work this time. The recycle on Screw Lucy almost back into turn number 3 there for, or from 4-2 Rebecca from Ballarat. Successful star pass then for Ballarat. Rebecca is now the recognised jammer, but unfortunately this one is all over it. So we then have 7-8 Keiju jamming for the Vic Kings. And 3-3 Mari jamming for Ballarat. At the moment, at the front of the pack, it is Mari just, again, trying to work that seam, trying to find a gap, trying to find something to be able to work with in order to get some territory on offer. There it is. Nicely done to the inside part of turn 2. Lead jammer, Mari. Kaiju not to be outdone, also getting through the pack. So it is another 4 points in for Ballarat, and Murray's seen enough and called it off. Handy 4 points then that sees Ballarat on 32. VRDL KCR, the Vic Kings on 58. Two, four, spin and tonic, 2-2. Corey, the two jammers out on track. The recycle then on spin and tonic, taken back into turn 4, but nicely done from Corey on that previous pass there, finding some space on the inside part of turn number 1. Lead jammer, Ballarat. As the pat now comes down the back straightaway. All the defensive work being done by Ballarat there, but unfortunately for spin and tonic, it's also a visit to the penalty box. Some of the cavalry then for both teams being released out of the penalty box. And Corey is one of them back out on track. Some fancy footwork to the outside part of turn number 3. And it's another 4 points for Ballarat. There's a pat now coming through into turn number 3. And spin and tonic has just the 2 blockers to get through, but unfortunately one of those blockers is number 4 too. That's Rebecca. And trying to get past Rebecca is by no means easy. Bit of a split pack then now coming into turn number 3. As we're under an official timeout. Might be a good time to go through the team rosters. Starting off with a BRDL. We have number 12 Screamstress, number 16 Killer Curls, 166 Birdie, 216 Baby H, number 22 Corey, 266 Beck, number 33 Mari, number 38 Roast Mortem, number 42 Rebecca, number 55 Snipples, number 7 Nitrogen, number 97 Lucky, and number 99 Gussie. That's the BRDL Rat Pack. The skaters in yellow, the skaters in the pink and the purple. VRDL KCR, the Vic Kings, we have 106 Katie Chaos, number 12 Dream Crusher, number 14 Code, number 16 Irwood, number 182 Mayhem, number 22 Screw Lucy, number 24 Spin and Tonic, number 273 Mayfane, number 3 Malicious Jane, number 469 Exy, number 495 L, and number 78 Keiju. Big shout out to Team Zebra, all our referees here this weekend. We thank each and every one of you so much for giving up your time, and all the NSOs. Thank you so much. Because without you guys, we cannot do Derby. We could, but it would be really, really interesting. Also, a big shout out to all our sponsors here this weekend as we find ourselves under another official review. So I'm going to duck in the centre and find out what's going on. All right, so we get this one back underway. I'll get to the official review in just a moment. 2-2 it is then, jamming for the Vic Kings rather. That's Screw Lucy. 4-7 Alice jamming for Ballarat. Nicely done off the outside part of turn one. Screw Lucy on that previous pass. Lead jammer, the Vic Kings. And again, just to the outside of the back straightaway there for Screw Lucy. Pack now coming through turns number 3 and 4. So unfortunately for Screw Lucy, it is a cut track. So good opportunity for Alice and Ballarat to score a whole lot of points. It is a power jam then. Alice off to a good start. That's 4 points being added to the Ballarat totals. The pack now coming down the front straight away. Alice just has the 2 blockers in front to negotiate as the pack now slowly entering into turn number 1. And again, nicely done coming through turns 1 and 2. Alice another 4 points. Whilst all that was going on, 2-2 Screw Lucy being released back on track and immediately getting back to work in scoring points. 4 points being added to the Vic Kings. Nicely done, Screw Lucy. Takes a nice zigzag through the back straightaway to get on through and pick up 4 points. Both jammers putting up a fantastic jam, picking up 12 points apiece. So BRDL on 48, VRDL, KCR, the Vic Kings on 70. So 7-8 Keiju then jamming for VRDL, KCR, the Vic Kings. Wastes little time getting on through and picking up lead jammer. 3-3 then it is Mari jamming for Ballarat, BRDL, the Rat Pack. Pack coming through now into turn number 2. And the Vic Kings blockers absolutely locking down on Murray, giving Murray no room to work with. Beautifully recycling from the Vic Kings blockers there. 1-4 code taking Murray to the outside part of the back straight. Some very good, very solid blocking from both teams happening here. That's on display in the form of 4-2 Rebecca from Ballarat. Oh, big hit there. Both teams, both sets of blockers just going hell for leather. And I've got a feeling we might be under an official review or an official timeout. Alrighty, so the referee's going to have a bit of a discussion about the official review that's just taken place, which I can't comment on just yet, but I can comment on the previous official review. Ballarat were seeking a forearms penalty to the blocker to be overturned and were unsuccessful in that review, so they've lost that review. This review is underway, and once the referees break, I'll be able to give you an insight as to what this OR is all about.
Yeah, cool.
So we have the 22s on track 2-2, jamming for Ballarat and getting lead jammer. Very nicely done, Corey. Also, Screw Lucy jamming for the Vic Kings. Oh, nice little whip just on the entry into turn number 3 there for Screw Lucy. 4 more points in for Corey and seen enough and called it off. So in that official review, the Vic Kings were seeking the lack of a forearms call on one of the blockers for Ballarat. Unfortunately, that call or lack call stands. So the Vic Kings have lost that official review. As we see then, number 5-5 jamming for Ballarat. Snipples up against 2-4, Spin and Tonic jamming for the Vic Kings. And straight away, Spin and Tonic with plenty to think about. Coming into turn number 1. The recycle then on Spin and Tonic, almost back to the midpoint of the front straightaway. So plenty of work to be done for Spin and Tonic to hopefully maybe get on through and pick up lead jammer before the other jammer does, naturally. That other jammer being number 5-5, Snipples. Number 4-2, big hit there, Rebecca taking Spin and Tonic to the outside part of turns 1 and 2. Particular skater needs some medical assistance, so we're just going to have a little bit of a short break and get some music going for you while our medical team attend to that skater. Alrighty, well that rolling whistle means we are at the halftime break in this game between VRDL, KCR, the Vic Kings, taking on brdl, the Rat Pack. The halftime score, the Vic Kings on 74, brdl on 52. We're going to have a short 15-minute break, and then we'll get the second half action underway. Alrighty then, we're not too far away from getting the second half underway between BRDL, the Rat Pack, and vrdl KCR, the Vic Kings. It's the two 22s on the Jammer start line, of course. That is Corey and Screw Lucy, just having a bit of a chat. So the 30-second call is out. Referees are going to make their way back to their positions. So we get the second half underway. 2-2 Corey jamming for Ballarat. 2-2 Screw Lucy jamming for the Vic Kings. Unfortunately for Screw Lucy, it's a penalty. So Corey then just the one blocker there in 469. Exie gets on through. Lead jam at Ballarat. And it's also going to be a power jam for Ballarat, so a good opportunity to get some much needed points and bridge that gap up. Currently sits at 22. And that's 4 points that Corey doesn't have to worry about. And meanwhile, the pack then just coming slowly off of turn at number 2, heading on down the back straight away. Now it's got a bit of speed about it. Number 99, Gussie, trying to do some O work and split up the Vic Kings defence. And whilst all that was happening, 2-2 Screw Lucy being released out of the penalty box, back out on track. And the Ballarat blockers now trying to establish themselves at the front of the pack. Now they get together in the form of Curls, Roast and Baby H. Now they go to work on 2-2 Screw Lucy, trying to hold up Screw Lucy for as long as possible. But whilst all that's going on, Corey with another 4 points. And the gap is slowly but surely closing up. And this is a start to the second half that Ballarat were looking for. Just the 6 points in it as we stand at the moment. 2-2 Screw Lucy though having a bit of a difficult old time there on the front straightaway, the Ballarat blockers. And giving Screw Lucy plenty to think about. But how's that? Fantastic jamming there from Corey, 20-point jam. And BRDL move along to 72 with VRDL KCR, the Vic Kings, on 78 after picking up just the 4 points. And we find ourselves immediately into an official timeout. Looks like some track repair work or a spillage of some sort on the far side of the front straightaway, or the main straightaway. Over in the distance, of course, EVRD, the Witches of East Vic, doing their warm-up. And the hosting team at West Side also doing their warm-up. We're going to have a little bit of a break with some music. So 4-7 it is Alice then jamming for Ballarat, 7-8 Keiju jamming for the Vic Kings. Some of the Vic Kings blockers take a bit of a tumble there. But getting on through, picking up lead jam, it is Keiju, 7-8. Not to be outdone, 4-7 Alice. Both jammers have the Jets well and truly lit. They're trying to get through. Oh, a big hit here to the outside part of the back straightaway, and Keiju's seen enough and calls it off. So just the 2 points in from Kaiju in that previous jam, moving the Vic Kings along to 80s. We get jam number 3 underway. 3-3. Mari jamming for Ballarat. 2-2. Screw Lucy jamming for the Vic Kings rather. Getting on through. Lead jammer. It is Screw Lucy. And not to be outdone, Mari also getting through the pack. So we're just getting through turn number 3 now. So 3 more points in for the Vic Kings. 22, Corey jamming for Ballarat. 7-8. Kaiju jamming for the Vic Kings. But just like that, getting on through. Corey, unfortunately, picking up a cut track. So good opportunity for Kaiju and the Vic Kings. Nice toe stop work there. Kaiju gets on through. Not going to pick up lead jammer though. That went to Corey but before the cut track was assessed, so the jam will go for the full 2 minutes, and unfortunately for Corey, the lead jammer status is lost. As the pack now comes into turn number 3. Kaiju looking for some territory on the outside part of turn 3 successfully, so gets on through. 4 more points. As the Ballarat defense, Nitro Gen is in there, Screamstress is in there, Beck's in there, trying to hold up Kaiju's for as long as possible. Whilst all that's going on, 2-2. Corey was released from the penalty box back out on track. Unfortunately for Kaiju, it is a penalty, so this is going to be a power jam now for Corey. As the pack slowly coming through turn 4 onto the main straightaway. The Vic Kings blockers doing absolutely everything they can to hold up Corey. Nicely done though. Corey takes an outside line. And another 4 points. Oh, both jammers there taking a hit to the inside part of the track. So just the 8 points in it then. brdl currently on 79. The Vic Kings on 87. And we have another official timeout. Big shout out and thank you for the ARC here in Daylesford for allowing us to use their venue this weekend. Of course, it's a double header round this weekend, rounds 5 and 6. So we thank the ARC for allowing us to come in here and basically make a mess of the joint. But we tidy up afterwards, we do. And now we have an official review. So I'm just going to pop into the middle of the track and just see what's going on. And we are back. Getting jam number 5 underway. So it is 2-2 Screw Lucy jamming for the Vic Kings. 5-5 Snipples jamming for Ballarat. Getting on through lead jammer going the way of Screw Lucy. There's a pack now coming through turns 1 and 2. The recycle then from 1-4 Code. Taking Snipples back deep into turn number 1. Now the pack coming down the back straightaway. Ballarat blockers are going to look to try and get out front and control this pack, and more importantly stop Screw Lucy for as long as possible. Baby H, Killer Curls doing a fine job holding up Screw Lucy coming through turn number 4. Nicely done also from Code. Good defensive work. So 9-9 it is then Gussie, the recognised jammer, after a successful star pass and for Ballarat. Unfortunately though for Gussie, recycled back into turn 3 after a nice hit there by 469. Out the front of the pack though it is Screw Lucy. Just the one blocker there in Baby H to get through. And it's another 4 points being added to the VRDL KCR, the Vic Kings. But the midway point of the front straightaway is where all the action is at. Gussie taken to the outside part of the main straight, recycled almost back onto the jammer line by 1-4 Code. That's not stopping Screw Lucy, that's another 4 points. And a very handy 16-point jam there for VRDL KCR. With that 16 points, it takes them over the 100 mark, 103, playing at 79. We have an empty penalty box, which means a full complement of skaters on track. 7-8. Kaiju jamming for VRDL KCR. 3-3 Mari jamming for BRDL. Unfortunately though for Kaiju, picking up a penalty, so this now turns into a power jam for Ballarat. Lead jammer also going the way of Mari. And good opportunity then for Mari to pick up some points. Oh, hit solidly then. Unfortunately then for Murray, it is a back block. And whilst all that was going on, Kaiju being released back out onto the track and straight away met solidly by 4-2 Rebecca. Getting on through though for the Vic Kings, Kaiju. There's a pack now coming. Pack coming down the back straight away. Not much of a pack there. The blocker advantage clearly going the way of the Vic Kings. 3-2 blocker advantage. 3-1 blocker advantage, pardon me. Nitro Gin, the lone Ballarat skater, out on track. This is an absolute blocker's nightmare. Nice little turnaround there from Kaiju coming off of turn number 4, and it's yet another 4 points for the Vic Kings. Mari being released back out onto the track and straight away gets through into the Vic Kings blockers. So just the 12 points there for VRDL KCR, moving them along to 115. VRDL currently on 82. As we get this jam underway, it's the 22s back out on track. Jamming for Ballarat 2-2, Corey jamming for the Vic Kings 2-2, Screw Lucy. Both jammers having a trip to the penalty box. Unfortunately for Screw Lucy, entering the track and cutting means another trip to the penalty box. But whilst all that was going on, Corey was only worried about getting through the pack. Corey's done that nicely. So the initial pass is all done. It's about point scoring pass now for Corey, but unfortunately another penalty, another trip to the penalty box. Screw Lucy then being released back out on track, and is going to be met solidly by 4-2 Rebecca. The chase down is on. Another cut track. Both jammers in this particular jam having a lot of trips to the penalty box. Don't see it all that often. Corey released back on track then for Ballarat. Is going to be immediately set upon by the Vic Kings blockers. Nicely done by 1-4 Co, taking Corey to the inside part of turn 3. 4-6-9 Exie now wanting a piece of the action as well. And again, Co trying to offer up the defense work. Corey good enough to get on through. 4 more points for Ballarat. 2-2 Screw Lucy also back on track, but this one's all done and dusted. So Ballarat picking up the only points in that previous jam, 4 moving them along to 86. And the Vic Kings remain on 115. Seven, 8, jamming for the Vic Kings. Kaiju, 4-7, jamming for Ballarat. It is. It is Alice, of course. Went a little bit mind blank there, pardon me. There's a pack now coming through turns 1 and 2. And the BRDL blockers giving Kaiju plenty to think about. No room in which to move. This blocking trio of Nitro, Gin, Beck and Rebecca. Birdie's also in there as well. The 4 blockers from Ballarat giving Kaiju plenty to think about. Bit of a tap there on the helmet of Kaiju. Nothing doing. Also at the back of the pack, the Vic Kings blockers giving Alice all sorts of grief. Neither jammer can find any territory in which to work. Relentless pressure from both teams in terms of their defense. But Alice making the best of a bad situation, finally gets on through. Lead jammer Ballarat. And Kaiju also getting through. As the pack now comes through turn number 4. Bit of a hit there to the outside part of turn 4 for Alice. They're okay, I think. And what a jam that was. Not that there was a huge scores put on the scoreboard, But you had about a minute 40 of absolute relentless pressure. Blockers love it, jammers hate it. As we get this one underway, then it is 3-3. Mari jamming for Ballarat, 2-2. Screw Lucy jamming for the Vic Kings. 1-4 Code doing the defensive work on Mari. Now the recycle back onto the jammer start line, but out front all the way down the far end of the track off of turn number 1 and 2. It is Screw Lucy getting on through, lead jammer. Now the pack comes through turn number 1. And again, both teams are defensively giving the jammers plenty to think about. Unfortunately though, for 1-2 Dream Crusher, it's going to be a visit to the penalty box. Screw Lucy then picking up a penalty. So it's now a power jam for Ballarat and Mari. Nicely done to the outside part, or the inside part of turn number 3. Almost in front of us here on the broadcast side of the track. 469 Accident China. Oh, 1-4 Code. Giving the defense there to Maru. And now the recycle's on. But the Ballarat defense also up for the challenge. Stops Cody from being able to recycle too far back. So 2-2, Screw Lucy released back on track. 3-3 Mari for Ballarat. Still just skating around, racking up the points. This is turning out to be a very, very handy jam for Ballarat in terms of being able to close the points gap. And a hit to the outside part of the main straightaway. Some high fives there between the two skaters, which is what you like to see. Nice 12-point jam there for Mari, moving BRDL along to 99. VRDL, KCR, the Vic Kings remain, they move along to 118. brings about the end of the official timeout. As the skaters slowly make their way back on track. The two jammers on a jammer start line, 5-5 for Ballarat. That's Snipples and 7-8. Kaiju jamming for the Vic Kings. So we get the action back underway. And as happened so many times before, both jammers straight off the bat are met solidly by two lots of defense, which really are pretty unforgiving. Kaiju picking up a high block penalty. That gets Snipples on through. Lead jammer, Ballarat. As the pack now comes down into turn number 3. A couple of skaters taking a bit of a tumble to the outside or inside part of turn number 4. Snipples trying to find some space on the outside part of the main straightaway, not going to happen. As the pack now entering into turn number 1, and again there's some big hits to be had, taking a bit of a tumble down there. Number 4-2, Rebecca. That's not phasing Snipples too much, gets on through. It's another 4 points for Ballarat. Kaiju taken to the outside of turn number 2. As the Ballarat defense again, nice and strong, trying to hold up the jammer. And doing a very nice job indeed. So just the 7 points there for BRDL. Very handy 7 points, it closes the gap up. BRDL 106. VRDL KCR, the Vic Kings on 118. We have again another official timeout. So that whistle means we are back underway. 182 Mayhem jamming for the Vic Kings. 2-2 Corey jamming for Ballarat. But getting on through, picking up lead jammer, it is Mayhem. Oh, and that's a big hit to the inside part of the back straightaway there. So we're under another official timeout. There's some slippery, fluidy stuff on the floor down here on the middle part of the back straightaway after Corey took a bit of a tumble there towards the end of that jam. So just the 11 points in it. BRDL currently on 109. VRDL KCR, the Vic Kings on 120. We've got around about 8 minutes or so of gameplay left. Two jammers on the jammer start line. 182 Mayhem again jamming for the Vic Kings. 47 Alice jamming for BRDL. So we get this one back underway. 47 Alice, 182 Mayhem, the two jammers out on track. And Alice taken to the inside part of the main straight. Recycle is on. Same for Mayhem. Taken to the outside part of turn one and recycled. Oh, big hit then from 4-2 Rebecca. Unfortunately, that's created a penalty. But getting through nicely, picking up lead jammer. It is Mayhem. And not to be outdone, Alice also getting through the pack nice and quickly as the pack now coming to turn 3. And Mayhem has seen enough. One gets the feeling, Beard, this one could end up coming down to the wire. 113 playing 122. 4 points then for Ballarat on that previous game. Just a 2 for the Vic Kings. Now this we have not seen for a long time. 4-6-9 Exie on the jammer start line. 3-3 Mari for Ballarat. 2 jammers then get it underway. The Vic Kings locked down on Murray, entering into turn number 1 to recycle then for Exie back to the mid part of the main straightaway. Now the pack slowly coming into turn at number 1. The Ballarat defence going to work on Exie. But getting on through, picking up lead jammer. It is Exie for the Vic Kings. Not to be outdone, Murray trying to just get through, and successfully so. And Exie has seen enough and called it off. A little bit of a wry smile there from Rebecca as both skaters exited the track off of turn number 4. So just the hit it and quit it there for Exie, getting the 4 points, calling that jam off. So 2-2, oh, big hit from Corey on 182. Mayhem, unfortunately though for Corey, it's been assessed as a forearms. So Mayhem, the jammer there for the Vic Kings, with a chance to get on through and not only get... Unfortunately, it's a cut check on Mayhem, so that's... That's confusing. I don't know what's going on there. I do apologise for not knowing what's going on. To the fans at home watching online, we thank you. And also to the fans here inside the venue. As soon as I can find out what's going on, looks like I'm going to get some info. Okay, thank you. Alrighty. So we've got all that. Alrighty. Oh, I've gone dead. So we are back. That's better. I can hear myself now. Alright, so we get this one back underway. So it will be 5-5 Snipples jamming for Ballarat. 1-4 code with the drawback well into turn number 4 to get this one started. Nicely done to the outside part of turn number 4. Snipples gets on through, lead jammer, Ballarat. As the pack now comes down the back straight away, the Vic Kings defense are going to try and hold up Snipples for as long as possible. Mayhem taking a bit of a tumble here in front of the broadcasting area, but unfortunately for Mayhem, it's another penalty. So this is exactly what Ballarat were hoping to get, some early power jams and points. Pat now come to a bit of a grinding halt on the back straightaway. The recycle's on. The Vic Kings defense wanted to take Snipples back as far as possible. There I am. And the recycle for Snipples taken all the way back to the midpoint there of turns 1 and 2. That was 469 Exy with that drawback. And the Vic Kings defense now going to go to work and hold up. 182 Mayhem then released back on the track. And immediately been met solidly by the Ballarat blockers in the form of Baby H, Gussie. And looks like Lucky's in there amongst it as well. Indeed they are. So this one comes to an end. And what a fascinating jam. Neither jam are adding to their team's total. So at the 2-minute 10 mark, actually Ballarat did pick up the 3 points. They move along to 116. VRDL, KCR on 126. So just the 10 points in it. 469, Exy 3-3. Murray, the two jammers on track. Murray trying to find some territory on the inside part. Not going to happen out front. Exy just trying to get through the Ballarat defense. But unfortunately for Exy, it is a cut track. Nice job, Murray gets on through lead jammer, Ballarat. So now for the Vic Kings, it's all about defense. And nicely done to the inside part of turns 1 and 2. Murray gets on through, it's 4 points. This scoreline is tightening right up. As again, the Vic Kings defense waiting for Murray coming off of turn number 2. And you can try everything to hold Murray up at the back of the pack. 469 Exy has been released back on track. And again, the Vic Kings defense, nicely done by Murray. It's another 4 points. And Exy also gets on through the pack. And it's Murray with all the points, all the answers. It's a 2-point lead to Ballarat. Very, very, very nice 12-point jam there for Murray. And Ballarat sees a lead change. And BRDL at the moment on 128. VRDL, KCR, the Vic Kings on 126. And we are about to go into an official review, I believe. righty. Who likes a nice close game of roller derby with one more jam to go? Apparently nobody. Okay, that's good. Love it. Excellent. So that official review was more just a clarification, so we're not going to go into that. But what we are going to do is set this one up. 182, Mayhem, 47, Alice, the two jammers on track. The equation is simple. You get through, you get lead, you control the game. And Alice has just done that. Beautifully done to the inside part of turn number one. Lead jammer, it is Alice, and they call it off straight away. From the jaws of defeat, victory is going the way of Ballarat. 128 to 126. What an amazing game of roller derby. It doesn't really get much better than that, everybody. Both teams just coming together now in their respectable huddles. I'd invite all the fans in the stand to come on down trackside and offer up a high five. These skaters are going to come out shortly. And what a spectacle. An absolute joy to call games like that. All right, fans in the stands, come on down to the side of the track and give up a high five for these skaters who have just put on an amazing show. We're going to start with the winners. BRDL Rat Pack, number 1-2, Scream Stress, number 1-6, Killer Curls, 166 Birdie, number 216, Baby H, number 22, Corey, 266, Beck, number 33, Mari, number 38, Roast Mortem, number 42, Rebecca, number 55, Snipples, number 7, Nitro Gin, number 97, Lucky, number 99, Gussie. The winning team today, BRDL Rat Pack. They get to go around again. That was just a warm-up lap. There we go. Now it's official. So give it up for BRDL, everybody. Winners here today, 128 over the VRDL KCR, the Vic Kings 126. And VRDL Kingston City Rollers, the Vic Kings 106, Katie Chaos 1-2, Dream Crusher 1-4, Code 1-6, Irwood 182, Mayhem 2-2, Screw Lucy 2-4, Spin and Tonic 273, May Fane number 3, Malicious Jane 469, Exie number 495, L and number 78, Keiju. And don't go too far away, we have one more game to get through to wrap up this weekend's round of roller derby. Of course, it is the host team, Westside Roller Derby, taking on the Witches of East Vic EVRD. And that's coming up shortly.